So we're going to start it off with a card in the spotlight. This time is going to be from our Downtown series, the Downtown insert from a particular series. The card we're going to spotlight today is going to be from our Optic 2018 football. It is the Downtown insert of that series of Drew Brees. So Downtown started as a basketball insert in Panini Studio. Back then, they were called From Downtown, and they featured a lot of long-range shooters and a playoff the basketball announcer comment for a long-range three-point shot. From Downtown! That's right, the old-school NBA Jam comment there from Downtown. But yeah, that's what we're talking about here is the Downtown inserts. They started off as From Downtown, and we'll go to that right here. There we go, From Downtown. And in fact, that's what the logo used to look like, was From Downtown, obviously. And it changed to just Downtown, but originally was in that basketball Panini Studio product and was called From Downtown. And here's the 2016 Panini Studio Stephen Curry from Downtown. This is a PSA 10 copy of that card, obviously, that we have here that I'm showing there. But yeah, the Downtown cards spread then in 2018. Actually, 2016 to 2017, they went from Studio, Panini Studio, to 2017, they were in Cornerstone for NBA, still basketball only. Then in 2018, they spread to football and baseball. We're going to talk mostly about the football product. But yeah, meanwhile, the name of the insert has been changed, shortened from Downtown to Downtown. However, the cards have stayed true to the original art that made them unique, connecting the player to their town, resonating well with collectors. Panini Downtown cards started in 2016 as a case hit, meaning you only got one per hobby case. Looking a bit more closely at print runs for these Downtown inserts, PSA has only graded an abysmal 685 total 2016 From Downtown cards. PSA has only graded 499 2017 Downtown cards. So we're looking at just over 1,000 cards graded from those two first years of From Downtown before it transitioned into baseball and basketball and everything else. In 2018, as Downtowns made their way into football, the Downtowns became a little more common, but still on the rare side and still predominantly referred to as super short prints or SSPs. PSA has graded a total of 1,675 2018 football Downtown cards. That was comprised of the paper Donruss product, 155 from that first year, 2018, 155 graded Donruss Downtowns, and Optic, there were 1,520 graded Downtown cards from football for that total of 1,675 out of 2018 product. Football Downtown. So that's kind of what we're starting with. The first year of football, we're looking at 1,675 Downtown graded PSA cards. So that 2018 Downtown product is where we're going to pick up our card in the spotlight, which is out of the 2018 Panini Donruss Optic. So sometimes that's referred to as Donruss Optic or just plain Optic, but it's that Optic version of the Drew Brees Downtown. So he also has a 2018 Donruss version of the Downtown as well, but we're focusing today on the Optic. The main difference there is that instead of the kind of laser background that you have there, the Donruss version of this card is the same picture, same background, same everything, except in the background, it doesn't have all the crazy lines. It is just the refractor look to it. So it's more plain silvery background as opposed to this type there. But so interestingly, PSA's total population report for football Downtowns decreased for 2019. That doesn't mean that Panini made less of them. It just means that PSA has graded less of them. So that could be for any myriad of different reasons. One of which is that the 2019 probably came out at the end of 2019, at the beginning of 2020. You're dealing with COVID backups, shutdown of PSA, increase in prices for submissions. But it's possible that some just didn't get submitted. But for whatever reason, the PSA total population report for all cards graded with the downtown insert did decrease from 2018 to 2019 for football, which was Panini's second year of downtowns. It decreased to 30 cards in the Donruss series were graded, and only 301 from Optic. So we're going from Donruss had 155 down to 30, and Optic had 1,520 down to 301 for a total of 1,675, reduced down to 331. So over 1,000 card decrease from one year to the next. A little bit weird because most print runs kind of skyrocketed from one year to the next, especially in that 18 to 19 range. However, in 2020, Panini added Downtowns to Chronicles draft picks with players in their collegiate uniforms. Meanwhile, the pop report for Donruss 2020 Downtowns shows 875 cards and shows Optic 2020 Downtowns population at 1,364. So a total 2020 football Downtowns in their pro uniforms of 2,239. So we're backing out the pop report from the draft picks. We're not really counting those. We're only counting out of Donruss and Optic. So between those two products, that population, a total of 2,239 cards graded. So back up into 2020, the pop report, the print runs are obviously increasing for 2020, which makes sense and would be kind of obvious as to what we're used to, accustomed to seeing, kind of population reports rising as well as print runs going up. So just kind of a little bit more history on the products that these come out of. So for basketball, which we're really not talking about, but they started it all off, so we'll give them their due. So 2016, we talked about Panini Studio, population of 685. Then 2017, it went to Panini Cornerstones, 499 was the pop report there. Then 2018 went to Panini Cornerstones, stuck with Panini Cornerstones. 2019 Panini Cornerstones, and then 2020 it transitioned to Panini 1-in-1. 2021 actually. So 2019 it switched again to Panini 1-in-1, and 2020 it has stayed in that product, that Panini 1-in-1 product. So football, a little bit different there. Didn't jump around as much. Went straight from 2018 football Panini Donruss / Optic, 1,675 pop report there for the 2018 year. 2019 Panini Donruss Optic again, 331 PSA pop report. 2020 the pop goes up to 2,239. Same thing, Panini Donruss and Optic, although they did print them in the collegiate uniforms, collegiate draft picks, but that is not included in our pop report numbers there. So yeah, that kind of does it there for what we're producing the stuff in. It did come out in baseball too, starting in 2018. Baseball has always produced those downtowns out of their Diamond Kings product, so that's where those are pulled from. So for football specifically, we're talking about, it has a 20 card checklist, or it has for the last 3 years. 2019, interestingly enough, though, had an extra card, so it's technically a 21 person checklist. I believe the Brett Favre product, or the Brett Favre 2019 Optic Downtown, is not numbered. So there are those, you can look them up on eBay or whatever, or the PSA pop report. It's shown at the top right where the card number usually is, like for this 2018 Drew Brees, it's DT2. That's not the case for the Brett Favre 2019 Downtown, it is blank in that top right corner, because if you flip it over, all it says on that back right, top right of the back, it just says Prism. So nothing really there. And the front of the card looks a little bit different. Kind of looks like a prism refractor look to it. So really weird there. I have a document here to help further illustrate or kind of go into the Steph Curry Downtown breakdown here. So these are all the years 16 through 2020 and what they sold for and everything else. So I hope you kind of get a little bit of information, good information gleaned from that. Let's see if we can. In any event. Okay, so here we'll walk through it real quick. 2016, we'll go through the sold prices first. Sold for $3,500. 17, interestingly enough, sells for the same price basically. Had one sell for $3,500, one sell for $500, less than $3,000. These are all PSA 10s unless otherwise specified. 2018, you see a small drop. I assume that that's kind of, 2016, first year. 2017, it switches to cornerstones. People may have liked the art more. People may have liked the product more. They may have gotten more used to it, interested in it, or something. Who knows? Then 2018, it's the same cornerstones product. So it's going to sell for a little bit less than the first year of cornerstones. $2,500 takes about $1,000 bath there, or at least $500 compared to that $3,000 sale. Then in 2019, whoa, get your pocketbooks out. $6,100 for the first year of the Panini 1-in-1 Downtown. I think the card's a little bit better. I think the art may be a little bit better, but I think that's more subjective than anything. The Panini 1-in-1 is definitely a higher end product than, like, say, Panini Studio, but even still, that's incredible to get. You're talking about a 10th year card for Curry and a 4th year Downtown insert, although it's the first year of the Panini 1-in-1. So I assume that's what really ratchets up the value there. And then 2020 drops back down a little bit from the 2019 value down to the $4,000 to $5,000 range. We have a $4,600 and $4,800 sale in that PSA 10 condition. So you can still buy them for sale here. We had 2016, you can buy it at $2,500. Double it up if you want a 2017. Although that $2,500 for sale was a raw for 2016. I did not see any when I put this together for sale, PSA 10s of the 2016 Downtown for Curry. 2017, we had those two options there that I point out. Then a $5,000 option in 2018. Only a raw was available for 2019, that $5,400 value. And then finally 2020, there was a couple available there. One was at auction when I made this. It's long since gone. I haven't checked what it sold for, but I assume it probably sold around that $4,500, $4,600 mark. It was currently at $4,000 with 10 minutes left. And then there was another one, buy it now, for $8,000. So definitely, super expensive inserts here if you want a Steph Curry Downtown. It doesn't matter what year you want it from, you're going to have to spend up for it, even in raw condition. If you want PSA 10 condition, good luck, A, finding one, and B, finding one for any kind of a value there. So if you can get a value on one of those, I suggest you do it, especially if you have the means to buy those. But they certainly fetch some good premiums there. We spent a disproportionate time spotlighting downtown cards in general and not our specific downtown card. So let's transition back to our card in the spotlight, the 2018 Panini Optic Downtown Drew Brees card. So I've put together some of the past sales and kind of comparing and contrasting each year to one another here. So we'll pull up that chart real quick. All right, so here's the 3 years. You'll notice that 2019 is missing. But these are the 3 years of Drew Brees Downtowns. Drew Brees, interestingly enough, not in the 2019 checklist. So he did not have a downtown card. Don't know why. Seems like he would be an obvious choice for that 2019 set to have him in the checklist in lieu of some of the other guys, but he wasn't. So we're dealing with what we have here. So the first year of downtown inserts, 2018 for football. 2018 there. And we'll kind of go through here real quick the sold prices for the 3 options. So I will bring up to the 2021 Donruss has been released, but 2021 Optic football has not been released yet. So we're only dealing with Donruss Brees downtown cards. So let's start off with our card in the spotlight, the 2018 Panini Donruss Optic Downtown Drew Brees. PSA 10 sold for $427, $809. Definitely a step back from the NBA products. That's in general anyway, for the most part. You know, Steph Curry cards are going to sell for more than, especially somebody like, you know, Drew Brees, which, you know, one of the top quarterbacks of his generation. But certainly, you know, NBA is more popular. Those cards fetch a little bit more premium. So yeah, here we go. And plus, he's not playing anymore. He's retired, and so those cards might take a hit as he's retired and not kind of ebbing and flowing. Sold for $427 and $809. Really interesting too that the last 2 sales were basically double, like $809 or half of that for $427. So whoever spent that $809 maybe feels a little bad, especially considering that there's one for sale now for $650. There is 2020 sales of $405, a little bit less, or $193.27 for an SGC 9.5. So there's only one PSA 10 that had sold at that just over $400, but there was a 9.5 SGC that sold for less than $200. So just kind of giving you a comp there. So for 2021, again, all of these are raw. So 120, 105, 159, kind of averaging out to be in that 125, 130 range, 160, 170 on the high end. If you just have bad timing and don't luck out on getting the good price. For sale, again, you know, those are sold listings. We'll kind of go back down to the for sale listings. There is a $650 option for the first year, 2018, our card in the spotlight here today. For the second year, which is skip 2019 on to 2020, which had that, you know, really cranked up the population report on PSA for the 2020 options. They do have some for sale. There's a PSA 9 up for $639.50, a $205 raw option, a $375 HGA 9.5 option as well. Then you move on to 2021, a couple of raw cards up there in that $200 range, $180 for the low version there. So those are your 3 Drew Brees Panini Downtown options. Back to our card in the spotlight here. I'll focus it in for you. This, again, is the first year Downtowns were in Optic and Donruss products, and the first year of Drew Brees' first Downtown, and the first year of football Downtowns, period. So Brees' Downtown card shows the French phrase often uttered around Mardi Gras, laissez les bon temps rouler. It also is a couple of Mardi Gras masks, some Mardi Gras beads, a trumpet signifying the importance of jazz music in New Orleans, and a building reminiscent of the French Quarter down in the bottom right. There's also the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway extending out on the bottom of the card, which is a common sight driving into New Orleans. Finally, on the left side of the card, behind Drew Brees' right shoulder, there's a tan building, which appears to be probably the replica of the Benson Tower. On the right side of the card, behind his left shoulder, there's a purple building or buildings. Can't tell if it's supposed to be 2 separate buildings or like a castle on the side of a cliff or something like that. I don't know, and I've asked others. I've racked my brain to try to figure out what this is, and for the life of me, I got nothing. I don't know of anything in New Orleans that looks like that. I've been many times. I live in Louisiana, a big New Orleans fan. So my only thought is that perhaps it's supposed to be Panini's attempt at a voodoo style haunted mansion or haunted houses, something like that, where they were just trying to kind of put a play on that, you spin, kind of tying in the history of the city, but which is fine for New Orleans. But this picture kind of misses that mark for me a little bit. There, there's no cliffs, especially like that in New Orleans. Despite that, it's really a cool card and one that I would love to add to my collection one day. Like I did mention, there is the difference between the downtown Donruss versus the Optic, and I don't know if I have. I'll drop a. I'll try to drop a picture of the Donruss here in the video as well, to kind of show that as well. But anyway, that's the card in the spotlight today. A little bit more history about the downtown product and kind of where it came from and how it got to where it is today. This is the first year of downtown in football, 2018. It's the first year, the only, football has the only downtowns in their Optic products. And, it's just kind of interesting. And I think, with Mardi Gras time, Tuesday is going to be Mardi Gras. And in Louisiana, it's a big deal. So wanted to really spotlight something with that Mardi Gras flair to it. I think this does the job. I really like the downtown cards, the inserts as a whole. It's interesting too. I will bring up a little bit. So in the 2022 Top Series 1, Topps did an interesting kind of, it's basically, I can't really call it anything other than a ripoff of the downtown inserts. It's called Home Field Advantage in their baseball product. Looks eerily similar to the Panini Downtowns. Of course, Topps has the licensing of the MLB. So a little bit better from that perspective, especially for baseball. But interesting that they chose that as the kind of case hit insert chase cards instead of kind of doing something on their own. Check out the kind of comp between the Bryce Harper Downtown versus the Bryce Harper Home Field Advantage from Topps. But just something interesting to do. So anyway, hope you all have a happy Mardi Gras, safe Mardi Gras time. If you have off around this time, great. If you don't, sorry to hear that. Enjoy celebrating it in your own respective ways. Stay safe, stay happy. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more. Drop a comment below and let me know what you thought of this one. Let me know what you think of downtowns in general, and if you really have an opinion on the downtowns versus the home field advantage from Topps, what you want to see more of from Panini and the downtown, from downtowns and stuff like that. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you checking it out. I know it was a little bit longer of a spotlight video, but I wanted to kind of get a little bit more history around that downtown. Till next time,